just about the end of the first complete week of January, it's January 7th, and doing a little bit of a reflection on how 2020 went relative to goals and objectives, and where I'm going to focus time, energy, and attention as we move into 2024. So, the first thing in 2023, one of the objectives I had was speaking 24 times in front of a live audience. Now, that I wanted to split that up between 12 keynote talks, keynote sessions. And when I think about keynote, I think of when you're speaking directly from the stage in front of a group of people. There's not going to be a lot of back and forth in that kind of environment. Now, some people will do some of the facilitated discussion in that environment, but for keynote, and say you're in front of the stage, you're conveying a point. You want people to think about something differently. You want them to get ready to do something differently when they leave. The other split was on breakout type sessions. So in a breakout type session, this is one of those where we're actually working together. It's a facilitated discussion. We're working together. We're building together as a group. There's a lot of interaction inside the group. And I've been fortunate enough to work with a number of people, including Betty Danowitz, to help get better at this piece. I've gotten reps in front of groups, and that's an area where I put a lot of time, energy, and attention. So 24 of those in 2023. And I missed that mark. A mark that I did make is that I had a live speaking session, at least one, every month starting in July. So from July, August, September, October, November, December, each of those months, I did something live, either in a room or in a virtual session. And many of those were in a room, including many breakout sessions led by the Learning Guild. I was really fortunate to go out to Vegas for DevLearn, and I was in Orlando for Learning 2023, and I will be at Learning in HR Technology in April of 2024. So I missed on the 24 mark, not by much. I ended up getting 22, so it was close. I did not hit it. It wasn't the split of keynote and workshops, though. It actually was significantly more workshop and panel than it was keynote. I had four of the ones where I was on the stage, the one who was primarily driving the conversation. So 2024, I'm going to look to blow through the 24 mark. I want to get to 48 over the course of the next 12 months. And that is going to take a lot of work. I want to double the target that I had for last year, even though I missed. But I still want to go back and reflect a bit on 2023. Now, 2023 was an interesting year. We shifted the business and started to focus on this speaking side of the business. We rebranded the business, advising, coaching, training, and speaking. And many of you know I'm a Covey fan. Begin with the end in mind. Speaking was the primary focus of the business. Now, where we still make money and where we make money and probably will make money for the foreseeable future is in the fractional revenue leadership space, where I'll go into organizations and work as a fractional leader who has a specific set of skills that can help the organization move from point A to point B, not get them all the way to Z, but help them move from point A to point B, and then maybe from B to C, and then C to D. Clear objectives in a short period of time. And that's what I'll do as a fractional leader inside the organization. And I typically will do that in the context of 90-day sprints, which is a little bit different than a number of other people will do in this space. And that's through a lot of lessons learned over the past couple of years. I struggle with qualifying crazy in my sales process. So by limiting it to 90-day sprints, I can make sure that once I get into the weeds, get into the organization, that we're actually the right fit. So 2023, some changes in the way that we operate the business, started operating those fractional roles in 90-day sprints, put a strong focus on building out a speaking capability. And then the third really exciting thing that we did in 2023 is we launched a consumer products brand. We launched a small niche golf product focused on trying to change a state for the person who loves golf and make it easy for someone, or simpler for someone who loves someone who likes golf, to buy something for them. Nobody knows what kind of irons you should buy me. They get expensive. You don't want to buy me wedges. Those get expensive too. You don't want to buy me golf balls because you may not know what I play. What we did is we launched Fairways Hit, which is a play off of a metric that many people will use in golf that isn't really meaningful. So the cool thing about Fairways Hit is that if you throw the URL into a website, you'll go to our website, you realize there's an four-letter word in there that not a lot of people would want in a website. We thought it was funny, so we built a brand around it and have a pretty cool logo that we're testing in the marketplace to see if we can be that catalyst for change, that change in state for someone. Be able to buy a small gift for someone you care about who you know loves the game of golf and is actually going to make them smile. It's something they're going to show their friends. And it becomes a bit of an IQ slash creativity test when you show the ball marker or the hat or the towel to someone. Some people get it right away and laugh. Some people, it takes a little bit. You have to coach them through it. So the big three things: speaking side of the business, fairways, hit, and iterated on the fractional leadership stuff. 2023 was a tough year. It was a hard year of ups and downs as we're kind of going through the motions of rebuilding and recreating and iterating on a business, as you can imagine. And I'm sure many of you kind of went through the same thing. There are a lot of stressors that were out there, whether they're financial stressors or market stressors or things that are happening inside your family. Uh, these stressors create a situation where they can bring you down and they can kind of pull you away from the things that you really feel comfortable doing. And this is where community can be really helpful. So the communities that I leaned on in 2023 included Pavilion, Go to Market United, Rev Genius, TLDC, my network, and included a group that we've recently taken over, which is the Phoenix Club. And I've been fortunate to be around the Phoenix Club for a number of years. Jen and I now are taking over leadership of the Phoenix Club, and we're really excited about what is coming next. I'll share that as I make the transition into 2024 here in just a couple of minutes. Community is so powerful. Community creates an opportunity, a space where you can learn together. One of the challenges in community is finding your community. So the first way to do it is go and find that niche that gets you excited, whether it's mysteries and quilting, and through the membership freedom group that we're a part of, we were introduced to someone who has a community specifically built around that. So you can build a community around just about anything if you want to niche down in that area. Well, the communities that I tend to go around relate to revenue and learning, because those are two things that are really important to me. So revenue and learning. And I've got my own little community here, I guess, on the golf side, and with a couple of the guys that I go and I play golf with every week. So find your community. When you find your community, you'll have a set of resources that you can lean on, that you can share information with, and you can learn together. That's the point of the Phoenix community that we've taken over, the Phoenix Club that we've taken over, taken leadership over. And this was passed to us through, originally from Dan Cockrell to Jody Mayberry. And we recorded an episode where you can listen to Jen and I talk about what we're doing with the community. Jody passed it on to us toward the end of last year, toward the end of 2023. And as we go into 2024, one of our core focuses, actually our number one focus, is this community, building a community, a place where people feel comfortable rising together, learning, continuing to learn, interested in creating, working together in an environment where, by being ever curious and focused on learning, we will help each other grow together. And that is the Phoenix Club. So if you're looking for a community, looking for a club of business owners, travel agents, coaches, consultants, leaders inside organizations, this might just be the place for you. And we get together once a week. So from a methods perspective, we get together once a week in a Zoom. We will have 2 in-person meetings per year. I think in 2024, we're only going to do 1 because it looks like we're going to do a really early one in 2025. And then there's some asynchronous work that happens in the platforms. So 2023 reflections. Really excited about the Fairways Hit launch. Really excited about some of the changes in the leadership, fractional leadership side of things. In fact, I kept my first opportunity to work in an industry that is completely different than the tech and learning and emerging tech space that I've operated in. I'm actually working with a group that is in the automotive space that has a construction angle tied to it, that delivers automotive lifts up and down the East Coast. If you are one of those people who's interested in automotive lifts, give me a ring. Happy to connect you with the right folks. But it's really interesting to get involved inside an organization where now we're actually building with our hands. We're seeing products go up. You can drive down the street and see the work, or you can walk through the dealership and see the work. And it's cool to make that transition from having to pick up a phone to see everything to actually be able to drive down the street and walk through a community and work together with people to see things in place, tangible things that you can touch. So let's shift into 2024. Actually, let me share a couple of misses in 2023, other misses. Number one, I wanted to get down to I wanted to be under 200 pounds and I wanted to deadlift a 550. I did not hit that goal. I'm above 220 pounds. I'm sitting at 222 currently, which is down a little bit from December 31st, but that's where I'm at right now. And my deadlift is not that high. My deadlift's in the fours right now. Actually, I haven't done it in a couple, almost 2 months. So it might be back down into the threes. We'll get back after it here as we go through this year. So I didn't hit the weight goal, both in personal weight goal from a fitness perspective, nor did I hit the weight goal relative to strength. Those are two goals that I'm going to continue to keep as we go into this year. It's important to set high goals. When you set high goals and you do the work, you'll be in a better place working through the process than if you hadn't set those goals and hadn't worked through the process. So failure is okay. Just fail forward as you go through it. So 2023 failure, I did not hit the weight or the strength goals. I also didn't hit the financial targets that I wanted to hit. So we move forward. We put the systems and process in place, create additional clarity as we move into 2024, keep those goals moving forward, and build a plan to go and execute. So didn't hit the financial goals, didn't hit the weight goals, didn't hit the strength goals. Hit some amazing goals, though, when it comes to getting in front of groups and getting more comfortable in front of audiences, learning better. Speaking fills me up. It brings me energy. The thing that brings me energy is the nonverbal that I get from the group, from the crowd, as they kind of lean into a conversation, as they take notes, as they grab pictures of slides or things that we put up in a whiteboard or a sketch. It's that change. It's in the feedback that people have when they come up and say, "You're helping me think differently, and you gave me some practical tools that I can apply today." Because a lot of times when we go to these conferences, we hear a lot of things, but we don't know how it relates to the work that we do. So some really exciting success in 2023. Let's move into 2024 and talk about what's happening as we go forward. So number one, Phoenix Club, building this community of diverse folks with diverse experiences, with diverse perspectives, with all kinds of stuff that they can bring together, that when they get added into the group, the soup gets together it gets better as we add more. We have coaches, we have consultants, we have speakers, we have business owners, we have people who are trying to figure out what's next. We have business leaders inside organizations. We have a diverse group of people who all have experiences that they can share to help us get better together. So number one focus, building the community with Jen and with the people who are in the community in 2024. Jen's got an objective that she wants to hit before the 1st of May, which is 100 people inside the group. I'd like to see us get to 250 before the end of the year. If I'll use a Jeff Barnes quote, "If you're not growing, you're dying." We are looking to grow this group. And we have a in-person event that's planned in April, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. If you're interested in more information about this, just go to findmycatalyst.com and you'll find the details there. So that's one area of focus. The second area of focus is continue to build the speaking side of the business. I get so much energy out of it. And it's really organized around kind of three things. One are the keynotes. So the sessions in front of a stage to help people think differently and do differently related to some really important topics that are impacting people and organizations in the context of leadership, culture, revenue, and execution. So leadership, culture, revenue, execution. It's all about simplifying problem solving and decision making, simplifying goal setting and execution, simplifying communication, and then simplifying go-to-market. So leadership, culture, revenue, execution. There are keynotes around there. The keynote that I'm most excited about is the one that I've titled "Looking for Leadership, Start with a Mirror." This talks about personal accountability, personal ownership inside your teams. And if we enable and empower our teams at the front line to get better at the work that they're doing through better systems and process around problem solving and decision making, better systems and process around goal setting and execution, better systems and process around communication, we will see good things really happen. And when we actually see how we align across an entire organization relative to a go to market function, meaning product and sales and engineering and operations and marketing and customer success, when these things align, your people inside the organization will feel more fulfilled in the work that they're doing. Your customer, they will impact your customers in a positive manner. Your customers will grow, your organization will grow, your people will continue to grow, and you will develop amazing leaders inside your organization. I've seen it happen over and over again, and I'm looking forward to working with more organizations to help them on that side. And that's specifically on the keynote side. Now, tied to that, I'll do some workshop and training stuff. Facilitated discussions in that workshop environment where we build together. We actually use some tools to get better at problem solving and decision making, goal setting and execution, communication, and better collaboration in the go-to-market space. So there's the keynote side, there's the workshop side, and then the third one, and sometimes this feels a little bit like therapy, at least that's what I get feedback on. Sometimes it feels a little bit like therapy, but facilitated discussions using a specific framework to help improve collaboration inside an organization. And this can happen inside small teams that are working together, small teams that work across cross-functional areas, and leadership teams. So groups of people who are working on solving a specific problem or thinking about a problem that they need to solve. And how do we come together using process and framework and a whiteboard to do that? So it's keynotes, it's workshops, it's facilitated discussion. So that's the middle part of things. So we've got what we're doing on the community side. We've got what I'm doing on the speaking side. I will continue to do the fractional leadership stuff. Why? Because based on the opportunities that I've had in the marketplace, I can help bring a different perspective and enable and empower people inside your organization to be better leaders, both better leaders of self and better leaders of others and better leaders of teams. It's hard to do that when you're on your own and you're doing it for a first time. So by bringing in a fractional leader like me and many of the people that I know in the marketplace, I tend to focus primarily on acquisition, retention, expansion, and then cross-team collaboration inside an organization. Those are my kind of three areas. So retention, expansion, acquisition, and then that cross-team stuff. I'll do a little bit on the demand, but not the one-to-many marketing stuff. That's where I lean on others. Again, this is where community is really important. So we'll continue to build out the fractional side in a project-based manner and limit those to no more than 90 days, 90-day sprints. And sometimes they'll extend beyond that 90-day sprint. Typically they will. Sometimes we can cover and accomplish everything that we want to in that period. And they're able to move forward and wait until the next gate needs to be unlocked. And in some instances, we actually realize we're just not the right fit because the company just isn't ready, but it didn't come out in the context. So as we move forward, 2024, grow the Phoenix Club, grow the speaking side of the business, and continue to deliver amazing experiences as a fractional leader. That's on the money side and the business side of things. So that gets into business. Well, in the Phoenix Club, we're focused on both business, family, and self. The family unit, bringing everybody together inside the family. We've got a couple of different things that we're working on. One, we went through a goal setting and execution process earlier this holiday period, and there were some ups and downs relative to it. I learned a lot around even facilitating a discussion across my family and not getting into a mode where it starts to feel a little bit like a lecture. We as a family are sharing our goals with each other, have shared our goals with each other. We have started to put together strategy to achieve those goals. The next step is to get the clear tactics documented and shared with the team, which is our family unit, and then support each other, be accountability partners to each other. So helping the family achieve the objectives that we've set for each other that we shared between Christmas and New Year's is a core focus for us in 2024. And I will measure success based on helping the team or the family achieve those objectives, or get into a position where they realize based on the work that they're doing, that's just not the right thing to focus time, energy, and attention on. All right, let's talk a little bit about self. So for me personally, again, same objective for 2024 that I had for 2023. I want to be under 200 pounds and I want to pull 550. That's what I want to do. I have all the confidence in the world that I will get there. I'm designing around it, and including doing some pretty restrictive discipline activities as we start the year. Of going carnivore from a dietary perspective and testing that, I actually feel really, really good about it. Some of the sausage I had yesterday might have had a little bit of sugar in it, made me a little bit more hungry than I thought I should have been at different points in time. But through the fuel side of things, I will help to get myself in shape so I feel comfortable in my own skin and things don't ache when I move around. And ideally, it'll help me be in a better position when I'm out on the golf course. It's a 2023 thing I missed. I actually broke 80 for the first time in 2023. My golf goal this year, again, self golf goal this year is to be single digit handicap before the end of the year. Anybody who's played this game, you know how hard this game is. I use it as a meditative practice. I use it to walk around, think, reflect, gain focus, improve mindfulness inside each shot. I want my brain completely quiet when I take shots. So personal goals. Number one, the fitness one. Number two, the golf one. And number three, I've got some financial goals that I'm working on from a self perspective. And that's really, I know that kind of ties to the business, but as someone who is a contributor to the family, and this is one of the things that I contribute most in the family, and not most, I contribute a lot to me being able to make those financial commitments from both a business and a self perspective and keep myself focused on doing the right things, gathering feedback and eliminating the things that are not necessary is critical. And if I don't do that for self, then I'm not doing the right job both for the business and for the family. So a couple of ways to look at things. Look at your goals and objectives in the context of the business, how you make money, family, your family unit. And it doesn't have to be biological. It could be just those who are close to you and important to you, and self, what you're doing personally. If you organize around those three areas, you'll find that they all kind of relate to each other because you're a human and you interact with other humans. Good things will happen. I know I went a little long on this. We're going to be right at about the 25-minute mark, but those were my reflections on 2023, my wins and misses relative to 2023, my area of focus as we move into 2024. And if you know somebody who would enjoy this conversation, would benefit from this discussion, who's struggling with community, who's looking for their tribe, who wants to rise together with others, know that growth comes by helping others, have them check out the Phoenix Club. If you're struggling with goal setting and execution, take a look at the game plan. It is the linchpin of everything that we do from a Catalyst Acts perspective. It simplifies goal setting and execution by helping you clarify strategy and tactics and then build a plan around it. And if you're looking for someone to help do these things inside your organization, give me a call. Maybe there's a chance to either facilitate a discussion, lead a keynote inside your organization, or run a workshop. Either of those are options. If you know somebody who could benefit from this, please share it with them. Let me know via LinkedIn or Twitter. Sales is a thinking process. Business is a thinking process. Life is a thinking process. How are you thinking differently about your process? Thank you.